What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of What Jay Has to Say. And for those of you who do celebrate, I just want to wish y'all a very happy Lunar New Year. But I just want to get right into the video because this is a topic, as you can tell from the title, it's something that really hits close to home with me and that I feel is really important and definitely needs more light shine upon it. And the topic is these recent physical violent attacks on elderly Asians within the Asian community. From my understanding, and giving you some context as well, ever since the coronavirus started, there's been a lot of attacks or hatred towards the Asian community because a lot of people say that Asians are quote unquote to blame for bringing the coronavirus or even starting it and having it here in the US. And at first, a lot of those attacks were verbal and a lot of screaming, racial slurs, as you can imagine. But over the past couple months or so, especially over the past couple of weeks, those attacks have turned violent, and there have been multiple cases where elderly Asian folks have been physically hurt or even killed due to these attacks. Couple of examples. One example, there was a case in New York where a Filipino man was on the subway, I believe, and he got slashed across his face. Another example, which is super sad, in San Francisco, an 84-year-old Thai man was out and about during broad daylight, and he got pushed over and attacked, and he died from his injuries. And to me, this issue really hits close to home because of my dad. And here's a picture of us. Cool picture, right? But my dad, a little bit, almost 5 years ago, my mom passed away. And my siblings, they're older than I, so they have their own families and are doing their own thing. But my dad and I, we've been living together for, almost 5 years now without my mom. And hearing about these attacks, to be honest, ever since even coronavirus started and hearing about all the hate going towards the Asian communities, in my mind, I get worried and scared every single time my dad leaves the house because I get worried that something is going to happen to him while he is just out and about, minding his business and going about his day, whether he get verbally attacked or physically attacked. And for me, I work from home, so a lot of the times I can't go out and accompany him when he has to go out and, run errands, or he has work too. So when he has to go through that, I can't always be with him, And just hearing about these attacks really makes me more worried and more scared. And yeah, that's why I wanted to make a video, not for the sake of just my dad, but if you have a dad or a mom or a grandma or a grandpa, it doesn't matter if you're Asian, black, or brown, LGBTQ, or disabled. If you have a loved one, and an attack happens to them, how would you feel and what would you be thinking? And I feel that it's really unfortunate that stuff like this is happening, especially in current times. We're in 2021, so we need to do better, whether it be highlighting the issue and talking about it, or actually trying to take direct action to combat the issue. Something needs to happen. To me, to be honest, I don't have all the answers to this issue. But what I do have is I have a platform and I have a voice, and therefore I will use my voice and my platform to shed light on it. Look, if you cared or gave any kind of effort towards Black Lives Matter, please care about this. If you cared about the election recently in the US, please care about this. If you cared or ever cared about immigration reform, especially immigration when it came to the Latino community, please care about this. If you cared about, or even still care about, the pandemic and trying to take proper precautions to take care of the pandemic, whether it be getting vaccinated or, using a mask or social distancing, enforcing all that. Please care about this. You know, an attack on one community is an attack on all other communities, especially if those communities are minority communities and communities of color. You know, I don't care if you're Black, Latino, gay, straight, disabled, able-bodied. You know, if we continue to let stuff like this just slide and it continues to happen, then we will not get better as a society moving forward, and we will forever be scared and afraid in this land that we call the land of the free and the home of the brave. So please care about this, learn about it. Just like if you did for any of the other topics that I mentioned, please take time to just shed some light on this, because to be honest, I haven't heard anything about this on major news media platforms. I only heard about it through social media, and there are videos, surveillance videos of these attacks happening. There are articles, but they're not in, you can say, quote unquote, mainstream media. So please just take some time to learn about this, and again, do something about it. You don't have to have all the answers, but if you can at least talk about it, that helps. If you can post about it on your social media, that helps. If you can tell your friend or your family members about it, that helps. So please just, again, for the sake of not even just Lunar New Year or being Asian, but simply being an individual, please, 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 please take some time for this issue. The last thing I wanted to add, which I forgot to mention, is that I am not up for debate for this in particular topic. As I mentioned, I'm only creating this video to raise awareness and to shed light on the issue. If you want to debate, please debate somewhere else, because this is not the place to do it. However, if you have questions, respectfully, please go ahead and ask them, and I will try to answer in the best way that I can. Thank you for understanding, and take care always. Till next time, y'all, stay fresh and stay blessed. Peace.